Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to episode number 7 of a new series I dropped here on the channel, Rookie versus Rookie. All right, these shows are really dedicated to help you make decisions when you're staring at players in your upcoming rookie drafts or fantasy startup drafts. All right, this is episode 7. This is the first tight end show that we're going to do. We're going to do Harold Fannin Jr. versus Elijah Arroyo. Okay, now we're going to put these players side by side. We're going to take a look at their 2024 production, their PFF grades. We're going to do, I watched the all 22 film on these players, and then we're going to do some scouting report card grades. And at the end of the show, I'm going to tell you who I would select based on my tape watching and, who I think is going to be a better overall dynasty asset in the future. All right. Like I said, this is episode 7, our first tight end show that we're going to do. But I've done Burden versus Igbuka, Hunter versus McMillan. I just dropped a Trey Harris versus Jaden Higgins. So go check out the past 6 episodes. And then I'm going to be doing these every week leading all the way up to the NFL draft. So hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 20,000 subscribers. That would be very appreciative. It doesn't cost you a thing to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get to it, man. All right, we don't have landing spots yet. That matters. Of course, opportunity always matters in fantasy. But we're going to put these two players side by side, Fannin Jr. versus Arroyo. Okay, let's get right into the show. It's going to be a good tight end class. These guys are going to be probably, tight ends that you're going to be drafting. So let's get into it and see what these players are all about. All right, let's go for the 2024 production and the PFF grades. All right, so what I've done, you can see the ranks on the PFF grades here on the screen, and what they are is I basically exported all the PFF grades and got rid of all the players that aren't going to the NFL draft, and so all these ranks are based on the top 12 tight ends projected to go to the 24 or the 2025 NFL draft. All right, so when you see the ranks on there, that is what they are. All right, receiving yards and touchdowns. Harold Fannin Jr., man, he just came out of the gate against Texas A&M and Penn State early in the year. The production is off the charts. Again, these are regular season production, statistics. 1,300 yards, 9 TDs. Arroyo, 526 and 6 TDs. Production wasn't there, but, Fannin Jr. was the primary target on that team at Bowling Green. And, Arroyo, as you know, Restrepo's down there and other receivers as well getting the ball. So, production isn't everything. Catch percentage, 78% for Fannin Jr., 13.4 yards per reception, 77 catch percentage for Arroyo, 17. He was a vertical threat, had some big plays in his 2024 tape. All right. Inline, slot, and wide alignment. I really like to look at this because versatility, I think, is something that's important. So you can see inline, they both played about 40%, 30% in the slot. You can see Arroyo was put out wide a little bit more, in the slot. But in either case, they're either playing receiver or inline alignment, pretty similar. PFF grades, all right, 95.9. Harold Fannin Jr., man, just killed it this year. The grade was off the charts. Okay, so he ranked first out of the top 12 tight ends going to the draft. And then Arroyo had 71. He ranked 8th in the class. Contested catch percentage, 59, ranked 5th for Fannin Jr., 0. That's what the PFF stats say. So he wasn't involved in a lot of contested catch situations, I assume. So he came in dead last out of the top 12 tight ends. Yards per catch, 7.5, ranked 4th for Fannin. 9.9, ranked 1st for Arroyo. You could see, like I said, the vertical play. He had 3 or 4 really big vertical plays that I think padded those stats a little bit. Yards per route run, 3.65 first. So you analytical guys out there, you're going to like that number. And then 1.61 ranked in 9th out of the top 12 tight ends for Arroyo. Okay, drop percentage pretty much across the board, around 3% for both of them. So you can see the production was leaning towards Fannin. Obviously, he was the focal point of that Bowling Green offense. And Arroyo, again, coming off a knee injury that he had back in 2022, he's had limited production really his whole career, and he was part of the the receiving core there in Miami, but really wasn't the focal point. All right, so let's get to the fun part, the meat and potatoes. What I love to do, I love freaking scouting players. All right, I watch a ton of film. That is what I do. My main hobby is cutting up film and watching it. So again, I've watched the all 22 films on both of these players Harold Fannin Jr., Central Michigan and Texas A&M, and then Arroyo, I did Florida, Wake Forest, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, all right? And actually, if you look at the website below, I posted his All-22 film versus Florida if you want to go take a look at that. And if you want access to all of the All-22 films that I cut up for you to scout these players for yourself, consider joining the NFL Draft Big Board subscription. It's $25 a year, and you're going to get cut-ups, all 22 film cut-ups of all your favorite rookies in 2025. It is the best deal in town. All right, so let's put the let's take a look at the scouting report grades. All right, and talk about what we see on the tape for these players. Release and route running. I have an A for Fannin Jr. and I've got an A- for Arroyo. They are both, I think, really good route runners. Good fluid athleticism. Really on Arroyo, I'm very impressed with his fluid athleticism, his short area quickness. And you don't get 1,300 yards in college if you are not a decent route runner. I think Fannin Jr. is a good defensive manipulator within his routes. His hips are a little bit more stiff, but he can get open, and the production speaks for itself. So I think both of these guys are good route runners. Again, from a fantasy standpoint, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for guys that can run around and create space for themselves and become a target for the tight ends. Ball skills and hands. All right, both of these guys, I think, have good ball skills and hands, solid catch percentages. Both catch outside their frame. I mean, they're both attack the ball when the ball's in the air. So I didn't see anything watching the film that gave me any concern about ball skills and hands. Again, I don't see a lot of contested catch situations on their film, so I didn't give them A grades. I kind of went with the B. Acceleration and long speed, I'll tell you right now, man, Arroyo is an underrated vertical threat. The guy legitimately, I think it was his Georgia Tech game I was watching where he caught a pass. It was kind of like a broken play, and he had 2 or 3 DBs running after him, and they weren't catching up to him. I think Arroyo, I am like, when he goes to the combine, really excited to see what this guy runs on the 40. Excuse me, I think he has the ability to be a really good space creator. Acceleration, Fannin Jr. off the line of scrimmage was good. Again, he's got the movement skills to create space, but he has a decent speed, but good speed too out of this tight end class. He's going to be one of the faster. Both of these guys, I think, are going to be 2 of the faster tight ends. So they both got really good grades for acceleration and long speed. Arroyo could be special. All right, yards after catch, both of these guys, I like the way they maneuver with the balls in their hands. After the catch, they turn upfield quickly. They both have good second-level vision, setting up defenders, knowing how to, attack angles to create more yards after the catch. I think they both excel in that. Fannin Jr. had some really, really good reps on his film of, really just making guys miss and stuff like that. And Arroyo as well. Like I said, that speed he's got is going to be, I think, underrated. All right, blocking and physicality. Fannin Jr., all right, it was really tough to... Fannin Jr., I didn't see a lot of reps on the film where he was really in there blocking. When he was in line, he was kind of chip blocking and then running out, but didn't see a lot where he was taking on edge rushers and linebackers and stuff like that. Arroyo, a little bit more as well. So I gave them both B. I think they're both physically able to block to a certain degree, but I've got to lean a little bit more on Arroyo on this because he's got the bigger size. I mean, 238 at 6'3". I don't think Fannin Jr. is going to be asked, I think, to really play in line and be a blocker. He's going to be one of those move tight ends that we like in fantasy that is probably going to be used more out in the slot and may chip block a little bit, but he's not going to be, I think, lining up on the edge to anchor, the edge of the offensive line in pass pro. All right, but I think Arroyo has definitely the skill set to do that. He's just had limited reps and production doing it because he was injured, all right, for so long. So my projection for both of these players, okay, are going to be good. I think they're both going to be, if we're going to look at draft capital, I think Fannin Jr. is around 3 or 4, and I think Arroyo is going to be rounds 2 to 3. All right. So who would I select if I was looking at these players? It is an easy choice for me, and I'm going with Elijah Arroyo. Okay. His film. What I like about his film is I think his athleticism and speed is underrated, and I think he is a diamond in the rough. And I'm going to tell you, his speed is just incredible for 6'4", 251. Now, there's 40 speed at the combine, and then there is play speed that you see when you watch the film. And I'm going with what I watch on the film. I'm not a big 40 guy at the combine with no pads on, and you're just running on shorts. And I think it's just a I don't care. I like Arroyo in this. I think he's got the hands. His physicality, I think, works for me. I love physical players. And Fannin Jr. to me has stiff hips in and out of his breaks, even though he's a good route runner and space creator. And then I didn't like what I saw on the film a lot at the point of contact. He gets a little soft. He doesn't lower his pads and doesn't like to give punishment. And I look for that, man. You got to play in the NFL. You got to dish out the punishment. And he seems to always kind of protect himself a little bit when I was watching the film more than I like. Not on every play, but enough on there to make me feel as though that how physical is he going to be at the NFL level to get out of those breaks, hand-to-hand combat with defensive backs. So again, who would I select in this? If I had to select a player, to me, it is Elijah Arroyo. And I'm going to make a prediction that he might end up being in the same tier by the time the draft comes with Warren and Colston. And I'm going to be doing a Warren and Colston film just like this one in another week or two. So again, be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to give you some player comps. Everyone loves player comps. Everyone says, Brandon, give me more player comps. All right. So I think Isaiah Likely is a good comp for Harold Fannin Jr., a guy who might go to a team, be that secondary kind of tight end, move tight end that they use. He could be a tight end 114, but I kind of see him in that role. I kind of see Isaiah Likely, not the most physical guy, but a guy who always makes plays down the field for the Ravens. And Arroyo, I have like a TJ Hawkinson. I think he's a day in and day out, day one, tight end one, who can line up on the edge, chip block, take on a defensive end if need be, but then is a threat vertical down the field to be a playmaker on an offense. So those are my comps. So there you go. There you guys got it. I hope you enjoyed the show. I try and get in and out of these as fast as possible. And again, hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 20K. And again, if you want access to the all 22 films that I watch and refer to in this video, hit me up on the website that you see on the screen. Thanks for watching.